So I have been wondering this for a bit of a while, and the recent buzz with Louis' Discord has made me kind of want to look into this. And like I said, I didn't have as much time to really do a deep dive, but I'm really curious who is part of LTHQ, which is apparently Louis' management company. So, all right, so who runs it, and why are so many fans, especially the Larrys recently, feeling like they're still not getting the real deal? Because a lot of times, like the policies of the management company, they kind of don't sound like Louis. They sound incongruent. So it's disjointed and it's disconcerting. So then, who is calling the shots at LTHQ? Like, what's really changed since One Direction? And is anyone actually looking out for Louis' interests, or are they really playing it too safe? So let's see. Um, All right. So the basics is LTHQ, the famous LTHQ official. Uh, some some fan buzz is that it's a super slick independent agency just for Louis, but it seems like it's more of a brand or a corporate management company with Louis in gold letters on the door. So okay. So apparently the facts are, and if I'm wrong, someone tell me because, like I said, I don't have time to look up business filings and whatnot because God, there's just so much to do now these days, and I don't know why. All right, so Louis is officially represented by Seven, so Seven, then the letter Seven Management, that's based in London. This is Matt Vines' crew. If you check out their website, Louis is right there on the roster. Apparently, Louis also surrounds himself with a close circle, like Chris Frewen, who people have seen backstage in some of his docs or tour videos. So LTHQ seems to be a bit of a mix. Like it's a public facing brand, it's connected to Seven's business entity, and it's got a few kind of what they call ride or die insiders who've kind of been there since the days of Syco, like Syco management. And people who've been fans since Wendy have called out, this sort of like storyline and what appears to be tension between management. So like there was modest management, there was Syco, PR stunts, dating rumors, micromanage everything. So that they did that not just with One Direction, but also with Little Mix, any other artist that was under their in the roster. And then with Larry Stylinson and Fandom, it it is Modest and Syco that are the most cited as the ones like the gods above who did everything possible to closet Harry and Louis, keep them apart. But now Syco and Modest are gone, but there is there is chatter that some of the same puppet strings are there. It's hidden behind different names and faces and people in suits. So, you know, there's that famous blurry clip of Harry going in for a hug and then freezing when someone backstage is shaking their hand, like he's going in to hug Louis. And then that is cited a lot in a lot of fan videos for Larry's that there's some control because yeah, like why can't he go hug his bandmate? Like, and then suddenly instead of hugging his bandmate Louis, he gives him a handshake, which is like okay, but then there isn't this level of like this um, discretionary orders with the other boys during the time of One Direction's active years. So there's a number of theories or a number of like pattern recognitions that people have pointed out, but there are valid reasons why some of these moments become kind of like legend and lore in Larry Science and fandom. So let's see, and the question is Louis out there running his own show because there's new label, new music, supposedly new freedom, but there's some frustrations on like why doesn't the management company, they don't seem to do enough. Like the promotions feel small. It's like why isn't Louis everywhere when an album drops? Then the collaborations, there are collaborations, but they're kind of sort of safe. Where's that wild creative energy and that sassy energy that we know Louis has? And then for the Larrys, the chatter is that there's this, the silence is loud, and it was really loud recently on the Discord. So apparently, LTHQ rarely acknowledges the shippers who basically kept Louis his name alive on Twitter in 2016. Like Louis has the grassroots fan army, and they seem to be doing more work than the management company, which kind of makes you wonder. So, um, you know, LTHQ is a kind of a mystery. So, in the last couple of days, Larry's, I, I think the Larrys do feel very burned, and they have a real good reason to feel that way. Um, you know, Larry is about like Larry's about human rights, queer visibility, and years of kind of being told that what they see with their own eyes is like not real, kind of like a bit of gaslighting. So even now with this new management, it it does give the vibe at times of it's like volume two of the same storyline, of the same tactics, right? So, you know, when you do have Louis coming out and saying, stop enough of the conspiracy, a lot of fans they feel confused because it's like, you know, how many times on a set list has Louis included the song Seven, which starts literally with Larry called a load of smoke in? It's like, if you don't want the Larry rumors to be there, why cover Seven? Why not swap that out on the playlist with one of your other songs? So there's this feeling like with every bland press release or safe promo campaign, it feels kind of like overly safe. It sort of has this kind of reaction that is like, okay, here we go again, hiding the real story because someone else benefits, not necessarily Louis. And honestly, some of the fans just are never going to trust the management team until maybe like some insider breaks their silence because something doesn't feel aligned or congruent. And then we basically wonder, is Louis really in charge now? Maybe more now compared to when he was with like Modest Management and Syco as a label. But I think that the trust has been eroded, and management kind of is seen as a villain in all this, but not for no reason. It's just that I think the fans hope that someday, maybe the right team and the right moment, Louis will get to just be himself, and the messaging will be clearer, and it will be congruent. It will not have these moments of like, I'm confused. So that's all I could find out about LTHQ. There was some screenshots and some posts circulating that talked about, should we, um, should we just all unfollow them? And I'm like, maybe that will have people wake up because it seems like there's such a disconnect between the effort of the management and the PR team, and it's just they don't seem to do enough. And it's like, well, why is Louis paying you for, right? Like, what do you do? Why does it seem like the fans pick up all the slack, and they're happy to do it, but at the same time, it's like this is a professional management company, and it's the efforts are lackluster. And it's been what now, God, like 10, almost 11 years since, well, almost 10 years that One Direction went on this permanent hiatus. It's been, Louis did stay with Syco another 5 years, so he was with them till 2020. And so now it's 5 years since, completely like free of Syco. And you just kind of wonder, yeah, what are they doing? It's just, it's baffling. It's really, honestly, it's baffling. Um, so who knows? It's just Louis is owed his due, right? He's really owed his due. He is immensely talented. He's working on a new album, and he deserves the effort that his talent deserves.